There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the ache for companionship feels louder than every other longing. A yearning not for just anyone, but for the one chosen by God. The one designed in the silence of eternity to walk with you through purpose, through fire, through seasons of joy and trial. And I want to declare to you today, not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine appointment, God is preparing to bless someone with a great relationship. And if you are hearing this now, it may be you. Because when God is about to shift your life, He doesn't whisper to your emotions, He speaks to your spirit. And what you feel right now, that stirring, that anticipation, that pressing hunger for something holy, something real, it's not from the world, it's from God. You see, when God is about to bless you with something great, the enemy often increases his attacks. Before the blessing, there is always a battle. Before the reward, there is resistance. And before the right person comes into your life, the wrong ones will try to confuse you. But don't be distracted. Don't be deceived. Because there are unmistakable signs, divine whispers in the noise of life that tell you God is moving, God is aligning, God is preparing something greater than you asked for. There is a fire that rises in your spirit when you've outgrown everything that once entertained your loneliness. The conversations no longer feed you. The flattery no longer impresses you. The casual connections no longer satisfy. Why? Because your soul has matured. And God is preparing your heart for something sacred. When your heart starts yearning for depth, not drama for truth, not temporary thrills, that is not just growth, that is God. God does not bless confusion. God does not bless compromise. God does not bless chaos. If everything in your life that once distracted you is now silent, if the people who once pulled on your heart have vanished, if what once filled your time now feels empty, it's not emptiness, it's pruning. God is cutting off the noise so He can prepare you to receive the relationship He has ordained for your destiny. And listen to me clearly, because this is for you. If lately you've been feeling a sacred dissatisfaction with the way things are, if deep inside you feel like something is about to change, if you've been waking up at night with a burden, a shift in your soul, a quiet whisper saying, get ready, then you're not imagining things. You're discerning the move of God. He is removing the counterfeits. He is cleansing your atmosphere. He is reordering your life not for a casual romance, but for a divine covenant. But God will not send a great relationship into a messy life. He does not deposit diamonds into dirt. He sanctifies. He refines. He sets apart. So if your season right now feels lonely, isolated, misunderstood, don't resent it. Embrace it. Because God always hides what He values. He hides the gold in the mountain. He hides the pearl in the ocean. And He is hiding you to prepare you for someone who is also being hidden, someone who's being transformed in secret just like you. And one day your paths will cross not because of chance, but because of purpose. Not because you chased them down, but because God ordered your steps. That moment won't need manipulation. It won't need performance. It won't need pretending. Because when God writes a love story, it doesn't need edits. It just needs patience. I speak to the person who's been praying in tears, wondering if God even hears. He hears. And not only does He hear, He's answering in ways you don't yet see. He is not denying you. He is developing you. He's not delaying you. He's defending you from what would have broken you. That relationship that slipped through your fingers, that person who ghosted you, that love that ended in silence, it didn't fail. It was filtered. Because God only allows what leads to His plan, not your pain. You must understand this. When God is about to send a great relationship into your life, your standards will elevate. You'll start seeing through people. The lies won't move you. The charm won't convince you. The titles won't impress you. Because when you are rooted in God, attraction becomes spiritual, not superficial. What once tempted you will now offend you. What once entertained you will now drain you. And that shift in your discernment, it's not cynicism, it's clarity. The right relationship will not drain your energy. It will multiply your peace. It will not pull you away from God. It will push you deeper into prayer. It will not distract you from your purpose. It will partner with your calling. So if what you've been entertaining only excites your flesh but starves your spirit, Cut it off. Let it go. Do not settle for connections that fill your nights but empty your soul. God is not calling you to survive another heartbreak. He's calling you to thrive in a relationship that brings glory to His name. And hear me, because I say this with fire in my bones. You are not hard to love. You are not too much. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are chosen. You are preserved. You are protected. And you are being prepared for a love that will not require you to shrink, to beg, or to compromise your values just to be seen. The one God sends will recognize your worth without you having to explain it. When God is about to bless you with a great relationship, He will give you peace that makes no sense. You will look at your life and say, I should be worried, I should be lonely, I should be panicking. But instead your heart will be calm, because that is what God does. He gives you peace that surpasses understanding, peace that anchors your soul, peace that says, God's timing is perfect, and I will not rush what is sacred. Sometimes that peace will come after pain. God allows heartbreak to build strength. He allows rejection to teach redirection. He allows loneliness to become the soil for intimacy with Him. Because the most beautiful relationships are not built on neediness, they are built on wholeness. And you cannot give someone what you don't yet carry within. So God is not just sending you someone to love, He is teaching you how to love yourself the way He sees you. Not through pride, but through divine identity. Some of you are in a season of weeping, a season of wondering, why hasn't it happened yet? Let me tell you, it's because what God is doing in your life is not small, it's not shallow, it's not temporary. He's not giving you a seasonal person, He's preparing you for a lifetime covenant. And covenant takes construction, foundation, surrender. That is why it feels so heavy, because what's coming is so holy. This is not about finding someone to complete you. You are already whole in God. This is about finding someone to walk with you as you both chase God together. Someone who prays when you're weak. Someone who speaks life when you doubt. Someone who builds you up when the world tears you down. That kind of relationship does not come through swipes and surface talks. It comes through spiritual maturity, through alignment, through divine orchestration. And let me tell you something. When it's from God, it won't feel like striving. It won't feel like confusion. It won't feel like anxiety. It will feel like peace. It will feel like purpose. It will feel like home. The right one won't compete with your calling. They will complement it. They will cover you in prayer, not in pressure. They will walk with you in storms, not abandon you in silence. And the only way to receive that kind of love is to let God lead. When God begins to prepare you for a great relationship, He will first teach you the art of waiting, not with frustration, but with faith. Waiting on God is not wasting time. It is the holy space where He shapes your character, matures your mindset, and strengthens your spirit. Because a relationship that is rooted in purpose cannot be built on impatience. God knows the weight of the blessing He is about to release, and He must make sure your foundation can carry it. If God gave it to you too soon, it would crush you. But when you wait on God's timing, you receive not just what you desire, but what you are ready for. And while you wait, God is watching. He sees how you treat your solitude. He sees if you pursue purity or compromise. He watches whether you run to distractions or run to Him. Because how you manage your waiting season reveals what kind of steward you will be in your relationship season. If you cannot be faithful in silence, how will you be faithful in love? If you cannot seek God when you're alone, how will you lead or serve when you're united? The relationship you long for is not a reward, it is a responsibility. And God will not release responsibility to someone who cannot manage self-discipline. You see, God never gives a blessing without first testing your ability to protect it. The great relationship you are praying for, it's not just about companionship, it is a calling. And if you are called to build with someone, to grow with someone, to glorify God with someone, then you must be pruned, you must be positioned, and yes, you must be patient. Because the higher the calling, the deeper the preparation. This is why some of you have experienced delay after delay, disappointment after disappointment, doors that seemed open only to close suddenly. It is not because God is cruel, it is because God is merciful. He would rather let your heart break now than watch your destiny shatter later. He would rather offend your comfort than allow you to bond with someone who does not honor your value. Every no you received was protection. Every rejection was redirection. Every goodbye was a divine act of love. And when God is about to bless you with a great relationship, He will refine your definition of love. The world teaches you that love is about convenience, about excitement, about chemistry. But God teaches that love is about covenant. It is about commitment in the dry seasons, loyalty in the storms, respect in the pressure. The world looks for compatibility in hobbies. God looks for compatibility in spirit. And when your spirit aligns with another whose heart is bowed before God, you don't just find romance, you find divine partnership. That's why you must stop chasing those who don't see you. Stop begging to be chosen by people who are blind to your value. If they couldn't love you when you had less, they won't know how to love you when God increases you. If they couldn't appreciate your prayers, they won't know how to stand with you in spiritual warfare. God is not sending someone who tolerates you, He is sending someone who treasures you. And how will you know when the right person comes? Because the presence of God will be undeniable. Not in emotion, but in alignment. Things will move smoothly, peace will reign, clarity will increase, drama will decrease. You will not feel like you are fighting to earn love, you will feel like you are resting in it. You won't need to perform, to shrink, to prove. The right one will see your light and match it, not dim it. But before that person comes, you must let God do the inner work. Some of you are still carrying the wounds of past heartbreaks, still haunted by betrayal, still holding bitterness against someone who walked away. And God is saying, let it go, release it. I cannot bring new wine into old wineskins. The heart that God blesses with a great relationship must first be healed, whole, and humbled. You cannot enter something new still bleeding from something old. Stop expecting someone to be your healer when healing only comes from God. Some of you must learn that love is not about possession, it is about purpose. It is not about finding someone to fill your void. It is about finding someone to walk with you as you fulfill your divine assignment. A great relationship is not a vacation from reality. It is a battlefield where two people stand back to back and fight for faith, for peace, for vision. And if you are not ready to fight for something greater than yourself, you are not ready for what God is about to give you. And let me speak to the men and women who have lowered their standards because of fear. Fear that no one godly exists anymore. Fear that time is running out. Fear that you will be alone forever. That fear is not from God. That desperation is not from heaven. That anxiety is not truth, it is torment. God has not forgotten you. God has not overlooked you. He is not late. He is preparing something so holy that you must be kept hidden until the right moment. Your value is too precious to be placed in the hands of someone who doesn't know what they're holding. God is not just preparing you, He is preparing them. That person is also being tested, refined, matured. God is working on their habits, healing their past, sharpening their purpose. Because when two prepared people meet, the blessing is unstoppable. So don't try to manipulate timing. Don't try to chase what God hasn't assigned. Stay in alignment. Because what is from God will not come through begging, it will come through obedience. And when that person comes, you will feel a divine confirmation, not through butterflies, but through spiritual peace. Your spirit will not feel anxious, your soul will not feel confused. Everything will click not because it's perfect, but because it's purposed. You will recognize their voice, not from their words, but from the way your spirit responds. Because when God brings someone into your life, your soul will know this is not fantasy, this is fulfillment. But hear this warning. Not every good person is your God person. Not everyone who seems right is sent. Some are distractions dressed in attraction. Some are lessons, not lifetimes. You must pray for discernment. You must pray for wisdom. You must ask God, is this your will or my desire? Because your emotions will lie, but God's peace never will. His peace will guard your heart like a gate, and His no will save you more than 1,000 yeses ever could. If you're wondering why you keep encountering the same toxic patterns in relationships, it's because God is trying to teach you to stop choosing from your pain and start choosing from your purpose. You attract what you tolerate. You allow what you excuse. And God will keep allowing the lesson until you finally learn it. Don't settle just to fill time. Don't compromise just to avoid loneliness. Wait for what God has authored, because what God writes will never be erased. A great relationship is not a fantasy you chase, it is a fulfillment you prepare for. It is the reward of those who choose purity over popularity, prayer over pressure, and purpose over pleasure. And when God is ready, nothing will stop it. No delay, no detour, no devil in hell can block what God has destined. So, stay faithful, stay ready, stay in alignment, because your story is not over, it's just beginning. And when that door opens, you will understand that every tear, every test, every lonely night was worth it. And let me tell you this, with every fiber of truth burning inside me, when God prepares to bless you with a great relationship, He will first break every idol you have built in your heart. Because before God places someone beside you, He must be the one enthroned above you. If you've placed love on a pedestal higher than obedience, He will tear it down. If you've chased connection more than you've chased His presence, He will remove every distraction. Why? Because God is a jealous protector of your soul. He will not allow you to give the sacred away to someone who doesn't value it. This is why some of you feel like your life has been stripped bare. People left, doors closed, affections dried up. And it wasn't because you weren't worthy, it was because you were too precious. God removed what couldn't carry the weight of your calling. You were not abandoned, you were preserved. You were not rejected, you were protected. And that protection is the evidence of God's love, not its absence. Because God always prepares the soil before He plants the seed. And before He gives you someone to walk with, He will make sure you can walk alone with Him. And while the world is busy promoting surface-level love, momentary pleasures, and empty attractions, God is doing something deeper in your life. He is birthing a standard in you, a new awareness, a higher demand for authenticity, for mutual respect, for God-honoring love. You no longer crave attention, you crave alignment. You're no longer impressed by charm, you're looking for character. You've stopped being moved by compliments, you want commitment. That's not a personality change. That's spiritual growth. That's God preparing your eyes to see the difference between what looks good and what is sent by Him. And I declare this today, you will not settle. Not because you're arrogant, but because you know your worth in God. You've cried too many tears. You've healed through too many nights. You've outgrown the shallow and the sinful. What once entertained you now offends your spirit. And that's how you know God is about to do something divine. He's separating you not to punish you, but to position you. He's disconnecting you not to hurt you, but to prepare space for someone who will speak to your soul the way only someone handpicked by God can. Don't miss what God is trying to reveal to you just because it's not arriving the way you expected. You thought the blessing would come in beauty, but God might send it in brokenness. You thought it would come through glamour. Reopen what God has sealed shut. Don't re-enter battles God already delivered you from. Don't return to the pain God pulled you out of just because you're tired of waiting. The enemy always sends counterfeits before the real thing. Stay discerning. You must walk in spiritual authority now. Speak it out. I will not settle. I will not be deceived. I will wait on God. I will walk in purpose. I will guard my heart. I will trust His timing. I will be prepared for the one God sends. And when you begin to speak this way, when you begin to live this way, something in the atmosphere shifts. God starts to open unseen doors. He begins to whisper instructions in your midnight hour. He positions people around you who align with your future. And without you forcing anything, the one who is destined for you will step into your path at the appointed time. God does not operate in confusion. His will is not vague. When something is from Him, it will be confirmed over and over in peace, in wisdom, and in alignment. That relationship will not pull you off track. It will accelerate your purpose. You won't need to hide your faith. You'll build it together. You won't need to beg for. Love it will be given freely, consistently, intentionally. And when storms come, you won't stand alone. You'll stand together, covered under the protection of God. And one day when you're walking hand in hand with the one God sent, you will look back at every tear, every trial, every silent night, every lonely prayer, and you will thank God. You will thank Him for every delay, for every closed door, for every time He said no, because all of it led to the yes that was written in His divine plan for your life. The pain was necessary. The pruning was holy. The process was ordained. There is a weight to divine love that cannot be counterfeited. It carries responsibility, integrity, and purpose. When God chooses to bless you with a great relationship, He doesn't just give you someone to make you smile, He gives you someone to sharpen your destiny. Someone who will not just stand beside you in public, but who will kneel with you in private prayer. Someone who understands that this is not a union built on lust or emotion, but a spiritual alignment ordained by the hand of God. This is not just love, it is leadership, it is loyalty, it is legacy. God is raising up a generation that is tired of pretending, tired of performing, tired of shallow interactions masked as intimacy. He is awakening hearts to desire what is real, what is holy. Because a relationship that is from God will feel different. It won't bring chaos to your mind. It won't pull you into cycles of sin. It won't manipulate, lie, or abuse. It will have a stillness to it, a confidence, a peace that doesn't beg to be explained. That's how you know it's from God. Because His fingerprints are all over it, calm, steady, and sacred. But before God releases what is sacred, He always inspects the altar of your heart. Is your motive pure? Are you ready to serve, not just receive? Are you praying for love just to escape your loneliness? Or are you praying for love because you're ready to walk in divine partnership? These are the questions God begins to ask the soul before He brings another soul near. He doesn't just prepare your hands to receive, He prepares your spirit to carry it well. And there's something powerful that happens when you stop trying to find the right one and start becoming the right one. When you stop chasing connection and start cultivating your character. When your prayers shift from send them to shape me, that is when heaven begins to move. That is when the windows of favor open, because God always responds to surrender. And He will not give you someone who is whole while you're still bleeding with bitterness. He will not send someone with a purpose while you're still entertaining distractions. So guard your heart, not in fear but in wisdom. Guard your eyes from lust, your ears from lies, and your spirit from environments that kill your faith. The blessing God has for you is far too valuable to be contaminated by counterfeit cravings. You cannot receive what is holy with hands full of compromise. You cannot carry God's best while clinging to what He's told you to release. Let go of the familiar. Let go of the toxic. Let go of the people who only know the broken version of you. Let them go with love. But don't let them stay with authority. Because when God begins to elevate you, not everyone can go. And you must understand this. The greatness of the relationship God has for you will require you to shed your former self. He will ask you to forgive those who never said sorry. He will ask you to stay pure in a world that rewards perversion. He will ask you to believe again, even when your past screams doubt. Why? Because trust in God is the soil where great love grows. And if your trust is in timelines, appearances, or circumstances, you will be shaken. But if your trust is in God, no matter what happens, you will stand. Some of you are right at the threshold. The warfare has increased. The silence is louder. The waiting feels unbearable. But that's not a sign to give up. It's a sign you're close. The enemy always fights hardest before a breakthrough. He wants you to settle, to turn back, to compromise, to give in to temporary pleasure at the cost of permanent purpose. But don't you dare lower your standard. Don't you dare quit now. You've come too far, you've healed too much, you've grown too strong. Hold on to your faith. God is about to reward you. He never forgets obedience. He never overlooks faithfulness. The nights you spent alone, crying, praying, waiting, He saw it. The times you walked away from temptation when no one was watching, He saw it. The moments you chose to trust when everything was falling apart, He saw it. And He remembers. God always rewards those who walk uprightly. Not because you're perfect, but because you're surrendered. Not because you never failed, but because you got back up with purpose in your steps and humility in your heart. And when that blessing comes, it will be evident. Not just to you, but to everyone who doubted you. God will make it clear that this relationship wasn't random, it was righteous. It wasn't the product of chasing, it was a reward for enduring. It won't just look good, it will be good, because it was formed in prayer, forged through waiting, and sealed by God's approval. But listen to me. This relationship will not make you whole. God must do that first. It will not fix your identity that must be built in Him. It will not erase your past, but it will help you walk into a future that is finally aligned with who God created you to be. That person will not complete you, they will complement you. And together your light will shine brighter. Your faith will grow deeper, your influence will stretch wider. Not because of who you are, but because of who God is in your midst. And when storms come, and they will, you will not fall apart. Because your love is not built on sand, but on the solid foundation of obedience, truth, and spiritual maturity. You will fight together, pray together, and overcome together, because when God authors a love story, the enemy cannot edit the ending. What He joins, no voice of doubt can separate. What He blesses, no hand can curse. What He builds, no storm can destroy. And now, as the weight of this message rests on your heart, I speak this with the boldness of one who has seen the fingerprints of God on every hidden chapter. When God is preparing to bless you with a great relationship, He first matures your spirit to match the magnitude of the blessing. He does not allow children to walk into covenant. He raises you into emotional and spiritual adulthood, because this next chapter of your life will not be like the last. This is not about games or gossip, not about excitement that fades or attention that flatters. This is about a bond so deeply rooted in truth that storms will only water it, not uproot it. You will know God's hand is moving when your appetite begins to change. You no longer crave surface-level conversations, you crave depth. You no longer seek flattery, you seek truth. You no longer fall for sweet words, you wait for consistent actions. This is because God is training your eyes to see differently. Where once you looked at outward beauty, now you see inward alignment. Where once you pursued chemistry, now you seek clarity. Where once you entertained for fun, now you observe for purpose. This is how you know God is near, when your vision begins to match His. And hear me clearly, the relationship God has for you will not cause you to lose yourself. It will remind you of who you really are. It will not silence your gifts, it will stir them. It will not compete with your relationship with God, it will drive you deeper into it. That's the fruit of a divine bond. It brings stability, not chaos. Honor, not harm. Growth, not confusion. And when God is at the center, love becomes a spiritual discipline, not just an emotional reaction. It becomes a decision you protect every day with prayer, with humility, and with faith. There is a divine principle that governs all of God's movements. He prepares vessels before He pours oil. He breaks the ground before He sends rain. And He prepares hearts before He sends union. You must allow Him to do the hard work in you before He sends someone to build with you. Let Him deal with your impatience, your triggers, your fears, your past hurts. Let Him teach you how to communicate, how to forgive, how to sacrifice, how to lead or follow with grace. This is the training ground for covenant. This is the place where greatness begins when no one is watching, when no applause is heard, when it's just you and God, and the sacred work of becoming is happening inside. And do not be discouraged by time. God's timing is not human timing. You may look around and see others forming relationships, some rushing, some breaking, some celebrating, and wonder, why not me? But understand this, God is not on your clock, and His delays are never denials. His process is always prophetic. What takes others a moment may take you longer, not because you are cursed, but because you are called. The higher the calling, the longer the shaping. God takes time on masterpieces. And when it's finally unveiled, it silences every doubt, every fear, every question. God is not raising you for temporary attention. He is raising you for eternal impact. He's not sending someone to pacify your loneliness. He's sending someone to partner in your legacy. Someone who will push you when you're weary, pray for you when you're weak, protect your honor when you're not in the room. Someone who will carry burdens with you, not add to them. Someone whose presence feels like confirmation, not contradiction. You must believe that the path God is leading you on is not barren. It's just sacred. He doesn't let just anyone walk it with you. He protects it. And that's why the wrong ones couldn't stay. Don't cry over what left. Don't mourn the doors He closed. You were never abandoned, you were preserved. Every delay was divine. Every heartbreak was a holy detour. Every disappointment was a disguised deliverance. Because what God has for you will not require endless tears, desperate pleading, or spiritual compromise. It will feel like alignment. It will come with peace. It will be wrapped in confirmation. And when it comes, you will understand that God was not just preparing someone for you, He was preparing you for someone who also walked the fire. Someone who didn't take shortcuts. Someone who chose holiness over popularity. Someone who wrestled with their purpose and came out stronger. When your paths meet, your spirits will recognize one another. You will not have to convince them of your value, they will already be praying for someone like you. This is what happens when two people are prepared separately by God. Their connection becomes a collision of destinies. But for now, stay in your process. Stay in your knees. Stay in the presence of God. Build what He told you to build. Serve where He placed you. Heal where He's touching you. Become who He's called you to be. Because love will come not when you're looking for it, but when you're walking in your assignment. Love will find you in the field of obedience. And when it does, it won't interrupt your purpose, it will ignite it. And I want to speak to those who've been through betrayal. You trusted, you gave, you believed, and it still ended in pain. You've said in your heart, maybe I'm not meant for love. But I say to you, do not make a permanent conclusion out of temporary heartbreak. Do not allow a chapter of pain to rewrite the entire story God is writing. That person may have walked away, but the blessing did not. What you lost was not your future, it was a lesson. And the blessing still has your name on it, it's still coming. And it will make up for every tear you've cried in the dark. God is not only capable of restoring, He's capable of exceeding. He will not just give you what you asked for. He will give you better than what you imagined. Because while you were asking for a companion, He was preparing a covering. While you were asking for attraction, He was building alignment. While you were asking for someone to love you, He was preparing someone to lead you closer to Him. And now, as the weight of divine preparation settles more deeply into your heart, let this truth burn in your soul. When God is about to bless you with a great relationship, He will refine not only your vision but your voice. He will teach you to speak not just from emotion but from wisdom. He will train your tongue to build, not to break, because the power of life and death lies in the tongue. And the kind of love He's about to send requires you to speak with care, with clarity, with spiritual maturity. A relationship born of God cannot survive in a house filled with reckless words. So God will first discipline your language, that your love may flourish in truth. God is preparing your spirit to lead with grace and receive with humility. That means He may break your pride before He brings your person. He may humble your heart before He honors your desires. Because when He sends someone to walk beside you, He wants that union to be rooted not in ego, but in purpose. You must be ready to serve, not just to be served. Ready to forgive, not just to be adored. Ready to give when it's inconvenient, to stay when it's difficult, to love when it costs you something. And that kind of love only flows from a heart that has been fully surrendered to God. You see, the world teaches us to enter relationships with selfish ambition. What can I get? How can I win? How can I be desired? But God asks, how can you reflect me? How can you serve? How can you make this covenant holy? Because love is not about taking, it's about giving without conditions. Not giving to be praised, not giving to manipulate, but giving because it is the very nature of someone who has been touched by the hand of God. And when two people enter a union with that mindset, the bond becomes unbreakable. Not because of perfection, but because of submission. Not to one another, but to God. And let me speak to your hidden fears, the ones you never voice. The fear of choosing wrong again. The fear of being misled. of investing your soul into someone who isn't worthy of it. The fear that maybe this blessing is too late, that too much time has passed, that your chance has slipped away. Hear this